Indonesia has unveiled broad emergency COVID-19 restrictions.
That the healthcare system in Southeast Asia may not be able to handle a surge in the number of patients.
Everybody was saying it's just going to be another flu, including Donald Trump. So I thought maybe it's just going to be another flu. And then the case numbers started coming in.
Thailand is also facing its worst COVID-19 spike.
It is only later that we realized that this is going to be a huge issue and we better do something about it.
Many have speculated about when we might see the end of this outbreak, but nobody really knows.
A lot of companies perished while we came up strong.
RedDoorz is the largest and fastest growing budget accommodation brand in Southeast Asia. The startup aggregates independent budget accommodations, provides hotel owners with technology, branding, and training, while ensuring customers receive high-quality, standardized services across RedDoorz branded hotels. In this conversation, Amit Saberwal, founder and CEO of RedDoorz, unveils what it took to emerge victorious after a once-in-a-lifetime crisis.
It was early March. By that time, things had kind of settled in and we got to know that this is going to be a long-haul problem. So we just got the team together and by mid-March, it was well into execution. Some of the good things which we did right was one, be very decisive. Be very decisive early during the pandemic and be very transparent with the team of the reality of the situation. And including with our hotel partners. We were into a minimum guarantee program with many of our hotel partners, and that had to be revoked due to force majeure. And that was a huge reset in the relationship. As a founder, I was thinking, if I panic too much and cut too deep, any founder knows how difficult it is to rebuild. So we tried to do it in like 2 phases. The first phase when it was more on the people side and reducing people, reducing operational costs, getting rid of the minimum guarantee program. When we figured out a couple of months later that things were still not balancing out, that's the time we had to give everybody a salary cut. So we just took tough decisions, we took them quickly, being transparent, being open, being highly communicative, were all the right decisions which we took. The best way to do it is try to align the team behind a bigger goal, a common mission. And the common mission for us was to survive the pandemic. And when the team got behind us in that survival mode, they really put in their best. They went out of the way to make sure that we came out of the pandemic. You have to appeal to the humanness of your human capital. Give them all the facts and then hope that you've done a good job in hiring. It always helps if you have a strong, supportive family, so at least you're not bothered about what's happening at home. And luckily for me, that was the case. And our investors, pretty much they were of great support. If you have resilience in your character and your organization is resilient and strong, then that is a good enough playbook. From our side, we have a great culture. People love working here. But in the heart of it, we are a tough company. And a lot of companies perished while we came up strong. I think the future is bright. Domestic travel is making a strong recovery, and that is our key use case. The shift which we see in hospitality is that people have adopted to digitization much more, especially hotel partners. And even consumers have a different behavior. The search and the discovery and the bookings has moved largely online, accelerated by the pandemic. This is a tough business, cannot be force-fed growth by just putting more capital in it. It takes time and you need a deep understanding of your markets and your consumers and most importantly your partners. Coming in as an outsider makes this a much more difficult proposition than a person or a company from the region who understands these hyperlocal trends and can deliver on those trends. Players like us are here for the long term and are trying to display as much sincerity as is possible towards the best interests of our partners and of our consumers. One of the key learning during the expansion is that while 70% of the playbook remains the same, It's the 30% which makes all the difference. So we really need to go and understand the nuances of the market and then bring in our product. Otherwise, it gets more and more difficult. Even though Southeast Asia, ASEAN have a similar ethos, they are different countries. So you have to localize country by country, and in some cases, region by region. Macro environments have changed. The availability of cheap capital and especially cheap growth capital is getting increasingly difficult. In a way, it's really good for us because a lot of the frivolous, startup growth capital which was driving bad behaviors is going away. It becomes critical for us to be self-sufficient, break even, and then profitable in a pretty short period of time. So the goalpost and the rule book has changed completely, but we are very committed to our original plans of an IPO, though they might have shifted a couple of years down the line due to what happened during the pandemic.